Good morning, dear students. We started with directing chapter yesterday. Today we are going to discuss principles of directing function. Dear students, like we have discussed yesterday, directing refers to the process of instructing, guiding, counseling, motivating and leading people in the organization to achieve the objectives which are predetermined. But providing good and effective directing is a challenging task as it involves many complexities. A manager has to deal with people with diverse backgrounds and expectations. This complicates the directing process. Certain guiding principles of directing may help in directing process. So today we are going to discuss different principles of directing. First principle of directing is maximum individual contribution. Now what this principle says that directing techniques must help every individual in the organization to contribute to his maximum potential for achievement of organizational objective. It should bring out untapped energies of employees for the efficiency of organization. Means we should deal with the individuals in such a way that they should contribute maximum to the organization. For example, a good motivation plan with suitable monetary and non-monetary rewards can motivate an employee to contribute his maximum efforts for the organization, as he or she may feel that their efforts will bring them suitable rewards. Next principle is harmony of objectives. We know that in one organization there is a clash between individual objectives of employees and the organizational objectives. Means, for example, an employee may expect attractive salary and monetary benefits to fulfill his personal needs, and the organization may expect employees to improve productivity to achieve expected profits. So there is conflict and clashes between individual objectives and the organizational objectives. But good directing should provide harmony by convincing that employees' reward and work efficiency are complementary to each other. Means a directing function should be performed in such a way that there should be harmony in both the objectives and both should be satisfied. Number 3 is unity of command. This we have already done. This principle insists that a person in the organization should receive instruction from one superior only. If instructions are receiving from more than one, it creates confusion, conflict and disorder in the organization. So there should be only one person who is giving all the instructions to the particular employee. So directing function should be provided by one person to the junior. Fourth principle of directing function is appropriateness of direction techniques. So there are many techniques to handle the employees. So as a senior, you should have the capacity to understand the need of the employees. So according to this principle, appropriate motivation and leadership techniques should be used while directing the people based on subordinate needs, their capabilities, attitudes and other situational variables. For example, for some people money can act as powerful motivator, while for other promotion maybe act as effective motivator. So you have to understand the need of your subordinate and you have to choose the appropriate directing technique. Number 5 is managerial communication. So effective managerial communication means you should be communicating with your subordinates on frequent basis so that you can take feedback from them and you can understand their needs also, and you can understand they have understood your instructions clearly or not. So effective managerial communication across all the levels in the organization makes direction effective. Directing should convey clear instructions to create total understanding to subordinates. Through proper feedback, the manager should ensure that subordinates understand his instructions clearly or not. Another very important principle of directing is use of informal organization. We have already done in organization chapter. Formal organization structure is which is created by the management. Informal organization structure which is created by the same interest within the organization. So a manager should realize that informal groups or organization exist within every formal organization. He should spot and make use of such organization for effective directing. For example, you want to implement something and you can informally ask your group that they are comfortable or not. So every manager should utilize these friendship groups or these informal groups in the organization to take decisions. Number 7, leadership. While directing the subordinates, managers should exercise good leadership as it can influence the subordinates positively without causing dissatisfaction among them. Means every manager should be a good leader so that he can influence the behavior of the subordinates, and whatever he wants he should have the capacity to influence his subordinate to do that only. So every manager should have leadership positive leadership qualities. Then number 8 is follow through. So mere giving an order is not sufficient. Manager should follow it up by reviewing continuously whether orders are being implemented accordingly or any problems are being encountered. So if necessary, suitable modification should be made in the directions. Means after every direction you should take follow up. Means you should see that all the decisions are implemented properly or not. Whatever the way you want, they are implemented or not. This is your homework for Saturday, Sunday. Note down all the principles of directing in your notebook. I request you all to learn and then write in your fair notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.